Okay, so good morning, everyone. You're welcome once again to the series I started on career stagnation. I hope we had a wonderful week and a wonderful public holiday on Friday. So my name still remains Evelyn Oshide Inde. I'm a middle manager. I'm a middle management officer on staff of one of the companies here in Lagos, and I just want to speak to us, continue from where I stopped on career stagnation. I started this series 2 weeks ago, and like I tried to explain, this series started because I had a personal experience with career stagnation. So on the way to work, one of those days, on the way to work on the island, and in my heart, I was just praying, and my heart was full of so much frustration because I've been doing the same thing, I was on the same roof for so many years, and there was no progress, and I seemed to be stuck at that point in time. And as I was praying in my heart, the thought came to me, or the idea, the Holy Spirit gave me the idea that I should write a book on career stagnation. So that is the instruction I'm obeying by handling this series. So I want you to listen attentively, and I want to thank you also for joining in this morning. And as you listen to me, I believe that you will gain clarity, you will gain insight, and the Holy Spirit will speak to you and guide you concerning your career. So thank you so much once again for joining in today. So we started the last session talking about what is career stagnation, and we explained career stagnation as a state of being stuck in a particular sport or doing the same thing over and over again without any progress in your career. And I also made mention that I see a lot of people on LinkedIn, you see them being on a role for 10 years, 12 years, still on a junior role, whereas by that time you're supposed to have progressed, you're supposed to have become a manager in your role. So that means that that person might not have the knowledge of how to move out of that stagnation into a better opportunity. Every day I go on LinkedIn, I see so many companies recruiting. There's so many opportunities out there on LinkedIn. Is it scholarship opportunities? Is it job opportunities? Companies are always recruiting, and LinkedIn is such a global village. It's not only Nigeria. You see people from Canada, people from all over the world, UK, US, they are all represented on LinkedIn. So my heart goes out to them. Recently, like I mentioned the last time, I ran an interview session for a particular role in my office, and I was shocked at the kind of CVs people were sending to me. All sorts of CVs not even related to the role. It shows that people are stuck, people are frustrated, they don't really know what they really want. CVs not related to the role I was looking for. You see a CV of someone who has done, like I mentioned the last time, someone who had done like 10, 12 years at MTN, and that person should be aspiring to a higher role, but the person is applying for a far lesser role, for an agent role in customer experience. And I'm wondering that doesn't this person have a vision? So that's why I'm taking this series, so that our eyes can be opened to what we need to do to progress in our careers. So like I explained, we started with what is career stagnation, and we explained it as a lack of personal development, resulting in a feeling of being stuck without advancement in your career. You just feel tired, you feel stuck, as in you just the same thing every day. You wake up in the morning, you get to work by 8, you leave by 5, doing the same thing every day without any hope of coming out of it. And you see other people that are not even, maybe they just joined and they're promoting them past you. So something is wrong, which needs to be corrected. So we also mentioned that career stagnation could be due to individual or organizational factors. I always tell people around me, I say your career is your responsibility. No organization is responsible for your career. You are the CEO of your life, you are the CEO of your career. So if you don't take charge of your career, you will experience stagnation. You will just leave it. It's just like a garden that is not cultivated. If you have a plot of land and you don't plant anything on that land, you will not receive any harvest. It is only when you plant a seed and you cultivate that land that you see harvest. So many people leave their careers uncultivated. They don't make any effort to move ahead in their career. So it could be an individual factor, it could be an organizational factor. And we also mentioned the signs of career stagnation. We said when your title or salary remains the same for a long time, you're on the same spot, like like I found myself at a particular time. I was earning the same salary for like 6-7 years, and it wasn't even increased at all. So you remain on the same title, the same salary for a very long time. You feel bored and you feel somehow disconnected or disgruntled with your work. And then you are there, you've not learned anything new in months, in years. Like I mentioned the last time, I was, when I started working, where I'm working now, immediately I started working a year after I got married. After that, I started having children. So by the time I finished that cycle, 8 years had gone. I had not even updated my CV. It was after 8 years and I realized that, wow, Evelyn, you worked 8 years just like that, and your CV is not updated. I go to LinkedIn. People's LinkedIn profiles are not updated. So if you leave your career like that, it's just like a garden that is unattended to. Weeds will start growing there. And even the organization may even feel that you stay too long there. They may even be looking for a way of shifting you or even relieving you of your job and bringing a new person. So it's something you have to actively work on. You can't just leave yourself like that in your career. So you find a sign of stagnation is people with less experience. Someone just joined yesterday. It happened to me. People just came. Maybe someone came from other places with 1 or 2 years experience. They placed them over me. And I'll be wondering that, is there anything wrong with me? I mean, I've been here, I've been serving. It's not that as if I'm lazy. You just bring people from other places because they have experience from bigger companies and they place them over you. And then you begin to feel defeated, angry, and frustrated about your career. So I've seen people in this kind of stage of frustration in their career, and their performance begins to go down. It's not a time for your performance to go down. It's a performance for you to it's a time for you to increase your fire. It's not a time for you to entertain performance going down, because at that point in time, you are setting yourself up for failure. Then you see yourself constantly busy. No progress in your work. You're just there, you're always busy, but you're not seeing any progress. They'll be calling people for projects. They won't even remember that you exist in that organization. So I also spoke about types of stagnation. We mentioned individual factors. Number one, lack of initiative or skills. You need to upskill yourself, whatever you are doing. If you find yourself in IT, you find yourself in maybe data analytics, you find yourself, anything you're doing, HR, you need to always upskill yourself because things are changing. Like over this weekend now, I attended some training courses in customer experience, and these courses are online, they are free, and they are being handled by global customer experience practitioners. So you have to always upskill yourself. You don't just leave yourself like that because the industry is changing. You need to upskill yourself. You need to take some certifications. There are some certifications that are locally recognized here in Nigeria that you can take. Then you now go and take the internationally recognized one. Be it compliance, for example. Compliance is a global profession. We have the Compliance Institute in Nigeria. We have the one Compliance Institute abroad, that when you take your certificate anywhere in the world, you are well recognized as a compliance officer. We have for human resources as well. We have CIPM here that is locally recognized. We have the one SIPHR and CIPH, something like that. We have some that are globally recognized. The same thing with accounting. We have ACA, that's the Nigerian one, and we have ACCA, which is the global one. I had a friend then, she wanted to travel out. So while she was in Nigeria, she was working in Huawei as an accountant, but she had already done her ACCA, which is the international one, and she had passed all the stages. There are always the stages. So when she traveled, she was telling me that getting a job in the UK was not easy when she got there, but because of that ACCA that she got, she was able to easily, at least that helped her to get a job to start with. So you always need to upgrade yourself, learn new skills. Don't just leave yourself. What are you doing presently? Get a certification in that thing. And if you are looking at switching careers, get a certification in that area you want to switch in. Then we have some people that have attitudinal issues. They just feel that they just lose motivation, they lose confidence, and all those things hinder growth. Like there was a time in my career, I don't really know what happened. I was acting as a team leader. Suddenly I was asked to become a team member all over again. At that point in time, it was a kind of depressive time for me. It was a time of like I had lost the motivation because I've been doing this job well, and suddenly, for a reason I can't fully explain, I was like told to become a team member again. So I had to just sit down and think about it, that what will I do to come out of this situation. So I had to start asking questions about why, what can I do differently. I had to do a self-appraisal, and I had to really sit down, and I had to really pray about it, and I had to really meditate on it. And at the end of the day, God gave me the courage to come out of that particular situation. I did my work excellently well, even though I was demoted. I did my work very, very well, and at the end of the day, I was even promoted again. So your attitude is very important. There's a saying by one of my fathers, Reverend Sam Adeyemi. He says, attitude determines your altitude. So your attitude where you're working now determines how far you will go. If you are given a task and you're always grumbling, you don't deliver, there's no way they will give you another task to do. So your attitude is very, very important. If you feel that you cannot progress, there's no way you progress. So you have to always motivate yourself. Even though you feel tired of the job, you need to always find a way to encourage yourself and motivate yourself. Another thing we spoke about was self-efficacy issues. We normally doubt our ability to succeed. I was in a meeting with one of my mentors, and she mentioned in the meeting that the difference between female and males is that sometimes there's some vacancies that are being published, but a man will feel like, oh, I have only 6 out of this 10, let me apply. But then we women will say, oh, I don't even have anyone, and then we don't apply. You always have to believe in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, you will not be able to progress. You have to believe in yourself that you can do that presentation very well. You always have to believe in yourself, even though people may not count or see you as important, or people may not even believe in you. You just have to believe in yourself, and you have to always present yourself positively. When you go for meetings, you have to always raise a suggestion. You don't just keep quiet, because people are there, they are watching you. There's something they call branding in the career world. There's a brand, everybody has a brand. Some people have a brand for being very thorough with their job. Some have a brand for being very lazy. It depends on that person. So you really need to work on doubts, and you need to be positive so that you can come out of career stagnation. Then the other factor we have is the organizational factor, where we have external pressures from the work environment. For example, maybe there's a merger and acquisition. Maybe the company is sold, and then you find yourself, maybe the new company that acquired the company you're working with, they now give you a lesser role. Those kind of things to affect can cause career stagnation. Or we have limited opportunities, no new projects, or maybe there's a political change or leadership change in the organization. So limited opportunities in the organization also affects it causes career stagnation. Like for where I work, you have the opportunity to move from one department to another, but in the past it was not like that. And we have some organizations that once you're in that department, you resign from that department. You don't have the opportunity to change from one unit to the other. So that limited opportunity also affects career stagnation. Another thing that has to do with organizational factor is organizational structure. We have some organizational structures that don't encourage growth, and we have there are some companies that have a flat structure, or there are companies that will not encourage employee training or development. I always tell people that you have to spend money training yourself. Your organization may not be able to send you for an MBA. We have some organizations that send people for MBA, but not all of them will. So you need to invest in your own personal growth. Like I went for a training in Lagos Business School some years back, and we had managers from Fidelity Bank and some other places that mentioned that they paid for that training themselves because they value their career growth. So there are some trainings you need to pay for. There's some companies that will never send you for training because it's not in there. They feel that if they train you, you will leave them and go and work in another place. But you have to really invest in your own training. And then we have external factors too. that affects growth for organizations. Like, for example, now COVID or different things. There's even a time that AI came and a whole department, they had to sack all of them and replace them with AI. So things like that could happen, and at the end of the day, that person's career is stagnant. And then we have the workplace environment as well, where we have some form of discrimination. We have male and female discrimination in some organizations where they prefer to put males in leadership positions while women are not being recognized. We have some places where we have bullying and lack of supportive management. So all of these to affect career stagnation, and it could cause a person to be stagnant. But like I said earlier, your career is in your hands. You are the CEO of your career. You are the CEO of your life. So whatever happens to your career, it is your fault. You don't have to blame anyone apart from that. I know that organization factors could come in, but you are the one that will decide what you want your career to be. I know that there are some structured organizations that you know that, oh, after 2 years you will be here. Maybe you'll be a manager, you'll be a CEO in 5 years or in 10 years. Everything is well laid out, and you don't have to struggle with growth. But there are a lot of companies where it's not like that. Many private companies, there's nothing like that. You are the one that will plan your career yourself. And if you don't do it, if nobody will tell you that you should go for courses, nobody will tell you. You are the one that will nominate yourself for some things so that you can be visible. So you have to just take charge of your career. It's not something that you leave for anybody or you blame any organization for. You take responsibility because you are the CEO of your life and you are the CEO of your career. So today I'll be talking about the consequences of career stagnation. Career stagnation causes so many things in a worker's life. So the first thing is lower confidence. When someone is feeling stagnated in their career, they have low confidence. Many times they don't speak during meetings. They try to hide themselves, or they just feel that, well, let me just be in a silo. So that's one of the consequences of career stagnation. That's why we need to come out of it, or we need to fight it. The second consequence is reduced job security. So we have some people that have outdated skills that make them vulnerable to layoff. Like during the pandemic, there was a teacher that was coming to teach my children. So the pandemic brought the use of laptops, Teams, and so many other, Zoho, and so many other online platforms that were not used to, Zoom. All these things were not used to previously. So the headmistress of that school told her that, do you know how to use a laptop? So because she could not adjust, she's an elderly lady, she could not adjust the use of a laptop at that point in time, so she had to leave that school environment. So we need to always upgrade our skills. Outdated skills can reduce job security, so we always need to upgrade our skills. The number 3 consequence of career stagnation is missed opportunities. So I always tell people that are around me, I say, success is preparation, missing opportunity. If you have an opportunity and you are not ready, you will not be successful. Someone can resign from a unit, and if you don't have those skills, you can't apply for that role because you will not be able to fit into those things. So what are you doing now to prepare yourself for that future place that you expect yourself to be? Have you updated your LinkedIn profile? This is one of the assignments I gave us last week. You need to update your LinkedIn profile with all the things that you have achieved so far. Many of our LinkedIn profiles are not speaking for us. I also shared the story of how a company was trying to coach me on LinkedIn. I didn't call them, but because they saw my profile, they started calling me. So we need to get to a level that we're able to upgrade our LinkedIn profile, and we're able to upgrade our CV and make ourselves visible, so that when opportunity comes, it's easy for people to reach out to us and say, oh, you have the skills, you can do this for me, why don't you come on board? So that's how it is. And then we have burnout or stress. Doing the same thing over and over again can lead to mental fatigue. So when you see yourself that you are getting burnt out and stressed, you can diversify into other things in your career. You can look at other things you can do to add to what you're currently doing. Then the number 5 consequence is career obsolete. Technology or younger talent may easily replace you. So if you know that you are not a Gen Z and you are in a work environment where you have a lot of Gen Zs, Gen Zs come with their own flavor, they come with their own style. So you need to upgrade yourself so that you don't face a situation where you'll be laid off. You need to be able to come up higher in the use of tech, use of skills, like use of technology to be able to make your work easy. So we'll now go to how to avoid career stagnation. I'll just start and end with this. Then next week we'll go to how to break out of career stagnation. So the first one, how to avoid career stagnation. So number one, set smart goals. Set smart goals. Smart is specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound. So you need to set smart goals for your career. Do you have a 1 year plan for your career? Do you have a 3 year plan? Do you have a 5 year plan for your career? Work towards it. I met a lady recently and she's so passionate and I really appreciate her. She doesn't really have anybody, like she's just the only graduate in her family and her parents are still, it's not as if they have so much money, but she has been able to work hard, train herself through school. She's been able to work hard to get a job where she's working now. And she was even telling me that she's even looking at saving up money to see how she can travel out and continue her career. So that is a goal for her. So you need to be able to set smart goals. Where do you want to be in 1 year, 3 years, 5 years? Okay, for example, now I want to be a senior management or a C-suite officer in a multinational firm in the next 5 years. So that's the kind of goal. Okay, what kind of C-suite manager do you want to be? Okay, I want to be a C-suite manager. I want to be a C-suite customer experience manager in a multinational firm in the next 5 years. Then you now write out what are the steps that you need to do to become a C-suite manager. What are the trainings that you need to do? Do you need to get a master's? Do you need to get a certification in customer experience? Those are some of the kind of smart goals that you need to set for yourself. Or is it that, okay, you want to transit from where you are? Maybe you are in sales, you want to transit from sales to operations, you want to transit from sales to become maybe the head of sales, or you want to transit to become a CEO. You need to be able to have plans. Who are in your network? Who are you following on LinkedIn? Who is mentoring you? Those are some of the questions you need to ask yourself to be able to avoid career stagnation. Then number two, continuous learning. So you need to always attend trainings. Don't just leave yourself. Some people believe that, oh, after they finish their BSc, they've graduated, they don't need to go to school again. That's not true. You need to always upgrade yourself. Attend trainings. Like this training I attended this weekend was not even convenient at all. I wasn't even feeling well. But I just felt I need to attend this training because I'm able to pick 1 or 2 things I will add to my job. And I was able to learn 1 or 2 things of the truth that will add to me as a person and will add to me as a career. So you always have to attend trainings. There's so many online trainings that are free. We have them on Alice, we have them on Coursera. You have to be disciplined to be able to start and finish those trainings, but it's something that you can do. So growth is intentional. You cannot delegate your career development to someone else. It's a personal thing that you have to do. So you have to make up your mind to continuously learn. Like those times I was facing that stagnation, I sat down and thought about it. That what do I want to do now that this is happening to me? What are the courses, certifications I can do that I will have? Like, for example, now if you're an accountant, if you do a certification in accounting, you will have ACA beside your name. Or you have, if you have an MBA, you have MBA beside your name. All these things matters on your profile, on LinkedIn, on your profile in your career. So we need to sit down and begin to take decisions on the kind of continuous learning that we need to do. There are some exams you will write, you may not even pass it. Like there was one I wrote in February. I saw that people coming. It's an international exam. People from HR, so they had their own that they were writing. Some have written it once, they failed. They came to write it again. So you need to continue. Even if you write once and you fail, you need to continue, write it again and ensure you close out and pass. There was something I saw about that late Herbert Wigwe said in a particular seminar. I saw it somewhere on social media where he was saying that most career professionals don't finish some of these professional certifications they start. Maybe when they fail, they stop. but you need to keep trying until you pass. So growth, you have to make growth an integral part of your career plan. So now we're in the month of September. We just have September, October, November, December, just 4 months left in this month. But you can decide to make these 4 months an impactful time in your career, an impactful time in your life. There are still so many courses, so many certifications that you can take at this point in time. All you need to do is to sit down, take some time for personal reflection. I know that Monday to Friday is always busy if you are working already or you're doing your business. But that time for personal reflection is always very, very important, so that it will help you to be able to take the necessary decisions that you need to move ahead in your life. Your Saturdays, even if it is 1 hour every Saturday, sit down and think, what can I do to make my career better? What can I do differently? Because you cannot get a different result if you are using the same approach in your career. So number 2 way to avoid it is to always continuously learn. When you go for meetings and you speak intelligently, people begin to know that yes, this is a good person, this is a good someone that can be promoted, this is someone that can add value to the company. So we always have to continuously learn. And number 3, seek mentorship. Mentorship is powerful because whoever is you are choosing as a mentor should be someone who has grown and has attained ×3 or ×4 of what you are looking at achieving. So having a mentor helps you to achieve your own success growth faster, because that person will tell you, avoid this pitfall, this is what I did wrongly, this is what you can do differently. So always have a good mentor. Learn from others who have advanced in their careers. Ask questions. Oh, how can I become a sales manager? How can I become a CEO? What are the skills I need? Like recently, one of my colleagues in the office became a CEO, and I asked him, what are the skills that got you into this position? So he said, well, in his career, he has done retail sales, he has done institutional sales, he has gone into all the aspects of sales: private wealth management, institutional wealth management, retail sales. He started from the scratch. And so the organization that picked him up saw that diversification in his career, and he was able to enter into that because he has a history of bringing money to the organization he was working with before. So what do CEOs do? CEOs are people that are meant to bring money for the organization. So you need to sit down and say, okay, who is a CEO? I'm not yet a CEO, but who is a CEO I can learn from that has a reputation of being able to visibly and physically attain success and bring money and grow in their business? Those are the kind of people that can mentor you and mentor in your career to greatness. Another thing we can do to avoid career stagnation is proactivity. Don't wait for opportunities. Like one of our ogas that resigned, he mentioned in his parting speech that when they were looking for a CEO in a particular subsidiary, his name was not there, but he volunteered himself that I can do this. Can I be the CEO, or can I be the deputy CEO, or can I be he volunteered. So when you volunteer for things, you volunteer for projects, you take initiative. I know that most time when they call for, who can do this, people tend to run away because they feel, I can't add this extra work to what I'm doing. But the truth is that it's not extra work that your promotion will come from. It's in that extra work that you're running away from that your elevation will come from. Because as you are doing the extra projects or you're doing the extra work, that is where you will begin to gain skills that will make you an effective manager. So don't wait for opportunities. Volunteer for those opportunities. Volunteer for those projects. Take those initiatives that will help you to scale up in your career. Then number 5, stay current. Follow trends in your industry so you're always relevant. That's what I was trying to explain. You need to read books. You need to read books in your career space. Beyond your career space, read books on leadership, read books on customer experience, read books on project management, read books on so many things. As you read books, as you take on courses, as you stay current, because trends change. Like I was trying to explain before COVID, when we go to work in the office, you know that you're in the work from 7:30 to 5. After 5, you close your we didn't have laptop then. It was desktop. you off your desktop and on to the next day. But now things have changed. You have laptop. When you close, you carry your laptop home, you continue working. Even on Friday, that is a public holiday, I know I have to do some things that have to do with work on my laptop, because if I don't do it, it will affect me on Monday. So that is a current trend. It's not a trend now that you can just say, oh, after work, you can't continue doing some things. There's sometimes I will receive calls. As a media manager, I can receive a call now on Sunday that, okay, something went wrong. Who are the people that can help us solve this problem? So we need to really follow trends. Things change. The way things were done last year is not the way things will be done this year. So you need to know, okay, is there a new way of selling apart from cold calls and other things that you've been doing? You've been going out there submitting proposals to companies, looking for contacts on LinkedIn to sell your service as a salesperson. But there might be other ways too of selling. Like I was talking to one of my colleagues that left like last year. She was telling me the way she sells, and I was saying, wow, I've never heard of anybody selling like this. And she said it works for her, that she doesn't even know some of these people, that she goes to LinkedIn and she looks for people in higher positions and she chats them up, tries to get their contact and call, and it has been working for her. I have a former colleague too who goes into the road and she starts spreading flyers. That's her own way of selling. She read marketing. So things do change. The way you were doing things last year is not the way you should be doing things this year. Like I went for a training in the office about certain OKRs 2 weeks ago, and the man that was training us mentioned that if your appraisal was C the last time, you'll be able to work towards getting to B or A in the next appraisal. Your last 6 months your new 6 months should be better than your last 6 months. So you always have to stay current. You follow trends in industry, attend trainings, especially those global trends like the one I attended over the weekend, where you have people from all over the world in the same industry. Attend those global trends to give you an idea of what is happening in the world. I said AI now is the latest thing. In fact, AI can be used to do so many things right now that human beings have been doing. They can even customize the AI to speak Yoruba, to speak Hausa. Things have changed. So we need to stay current. We need to look for ways of upgrading ourselves, so that at the end of the day, if you are called for an interview, like I know that when I was looking for a job then, I was always on my toes. I read the newspapers every day, so I know what is happening in that industry. I was looking for a sales job then because I read medical physiology. So I go online. My first job then, I got it with orange drugs. So I go online, I read about orange drugs, what's happening in orange drugs, try to understand what's happening in the pharmaceutical industry. So when I go for interviews, I'm always talking from an informed position, and they will even be looking at me that, how did you know that this is what is happening? So you need to stay current, stay on top of the game, know what's happening if you are working in the FMCG industry, you need to know what's happening in FMCG. If you are working in telco, you need to know what's working in telco. If you are working in banking, you need to know the interest rates. When they ask you should be able to know the current interest rates. You should be able to know, if you are working in a brokerage firm, you should be able to know the stocks that customers should buy at that point in time. So you stay current. If you are working where they are doing crypto, you need to know, okay, what's happening in the crypto space at this point in time. So if we can do these things that I've mentioned today, I believe that we'll be able to avoid career stagnation. So there are so many things under this topic that I will still share. Next week I'll be talking about how to break out of it. What we've spoken about today is how to avoid career stagnation. I'm talking about how to break out of it. I'll be taking some case studies, and I'll be going deeper into other things, because some people don't know how to do their CV, some people don't know how to change their jobs and other things. So I'll be talking about so many other things. So thank you so much for taking our time to listen to me today. The best thing you can do to yourself is to practice some of these things that we have learned here today. Number one, look for a training that you attend online. Go to LinkedIn, upgrade your LinkedIn profile, upgrade your CV. Those are the 3 assignments I'm giving to us again. If you have not upgraded your CV, go and update your CV this week. Number 2, update your LinkedIn profile. Number 3, look for a training that you can attend. There are so many of them online, free, on LinkedIn, that you can, even this one I attended is from LinkedIn, and it's an international training. There are so many of them you can attend. Look for a training to attend. So thank you so much for the time you took to listen to me today. I wish you a very progressive and successful career growth. I wish you success in everything that you do. And as you practice this, I would like you to drop your testimonies or your the things that you're able to achieve from listening to the series. I will encourage you to drop it on the chat. And if you want to send me an email, you can send me an email to evelyn2k@gmail.com. I can drop a chat. I will reach out to you. Thank you so much for listening today. Do have a beautiful and a progressive week. Bye, everyone.